Hi, it's Daryl here, answering any questions you've got on net zero, ESOS compliance, SECR compliance, science-based targets, etc., etc. And I love sort of talking to you guys, answering your questions. And today's question is Farah.
So today's question is one that we got from the website, and the question is, how can I get a carbon policy?
How can I get a carbon policy? Okay, and nice and simple. Carbon policy is probably the most important document you'll have in your sort of net zero journey. It's the one right at the start that says what you're going to do. Okay, it can say, for example, perfectly valid carbon policy is we will do things in environmentally friendly fashion. Okay, just a couple of sentences or one sentence. Obviously, that doesn't mean that much. It hasn't got any dates, it hasn't got any times, hasn't got any targets, it hasn't got any sort of mention of what framework you're using to do your net zero journey. So it's perfectly valid, it's just not as good as we will use, for example, let's go to the other end, we will use science-based targets and the GHG Scope 3 methodology to reduce our carbon emissions by 90% by 2050, and we will comply with the SBTi corporate net zero standard. That's at the other end, okay? So one of those is very easy, one's very hard. We rate them from 1 is easy, 8 is hard, just an internal rating, it's not a standard or anything, but we rate them 1 to 8. And so what we do with clients is we say, you know, choose which one you're most comfortable with, right from really quite aggressive right through to really extremely simple. Choose where you're comfortable with on that scale, and then just copy it. You know, we make it available free of charge. And the actual answer to your question to where can I get a carbon policy is if you go into the show notes underneath. Farah, can you put a link to the carbon policy download?
Yep, I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, she's very good. So put that down there. So down in the show notes underneath, there's a link. Go in there and you'll see all of our 8 policies laid down. Choose the one you like the best. Feel free to use and abuse it as you see fit. Okay, sound good, Farah?
Yeah, that sounds good. I was actually just wondering if this carbon policy is available for everyone to see, or is it something that's just internal?
That's a good question. I mean, I think with the growing TCFD disclosures, more people will be publishing them whether they like it or not, because the disclosures are almost by their nature public. Most of them, 99%, are internal use only. So people don't get to see them, but you know, good question. That's a very good question, Farah. All right, so there you go. That's the answer to that. We do one of these a day if I can, and if you've got any questions you'd like me to sort of address, pop them through on the email, in the web chat, etc., etc., and I'll do my best. I hope that was useful, and I'll see you tomorrow.